When a woman truly, honestly, genuinely loves you, it doesn't matter who you bring in front of her or which guy DMs her, she will never ever ever throw you away.
Sorry to break it to you, buddy. They could still throw you away if they see you are not in line with getting yourself better. As much as someone loves you, they say you can take the camel to the ocean or to the lake, but you can't force it to drink. If she wants so much good for you, she would do anything for you, but you are just not responding to all her love, all her care. Man, she is going to deep in the long run. And if she doesn't, you are probably going to kill her due to the stress and pain she's going to go through. So it's in her best interest to just let the sleeping dog lie, man. But the guy doesn't want to improve on himself. So you've tried. Like, of course, she has to try. She will try. Like, someone that loves you and cares for you will definitely give their own 100% when it comes to the relationship. But if you're not giving your own 100%, don't expect her to be in at 100%. Even though she might have the capacity to, and she can, I don't even advise. See, don't ever get into a relationship trying to change anybody. Don't try it. It would end in tears because, like I said, you can't force the camel to drink. If the person wants to change, the person will change. So if you're going in there to fix anything, you're not Bob the Builder, man. You're not Bob the Builder. Don't. Sup, Gators. Today we are going to be reacting to relationship advice we find on TikTok. TikTok is a funny place, and sometimes, it can give you good and bad advice. So I like, let's see what these TikTokers are, consuming. Since everybody's on TikTok these days, let's see what they are feeding to our young ones. Let's get involved.
Men tend to forget that women
I'll get this beard
typically are
soon.
emotionally wired or more emotionally wired.
Yeah.
And so what happens is
More,
when she
very
comes to you and
important.
expresses a concern, if that concern does not line up in your head logically, men tend to dismiss it. Okay?
Facts.
And they don't consider how she's feeling. And I want men to understand, you have to learn that we have to accept men and women are different. We are just built differently, and in understanding our differences, we can create more harmony with each other. When that woman says to you, this is how I feel, it's not about your logic at that point, bro. It's about how she feels. Men tend
To be honest, there needs to be a balance. There always needs to be a balance. Like, it's from where he's coming from, which I hope he's coming from, right? From what I can understand, he's saying compromise, right? You should always be ready to compromise. Take into account her feelings. Take into account how she's processing the logic you feel you're giving to her. Because if you're not doing that, that means you don't love the chick. Because if you do, you would want her to understand it in the manner you do. Meaning, even if it means understanding how she's feeling about how you're expressing it. If there needs to be any tweaking of, how you say it or how you pass out that information to her, then if you love her, then that's important. It's important you tweak it to cater to her feelings so that she gets the best out of your message. Because people say, oh, logic. Yeah, you can be logical and respectful and caring and honest while doing it. You can definitely, those three things can exist with logic still being in the picture. That's what people try to use. Oh, you have to be logical. Women don't understand logic. That's a lie. Everybody understands logic. Everybody is emotional. These two things are both in human beings. But one is possessed more by the other gender. Right? Like, men are more, they will say they are more logical. I don't know. I don't agree. But I know women definitely. You see, it was funny to me. I don't even agree with all this logic, emotions. It's a human thing. I don't think it's a man thing. No, I think in sometimes it might just be higher for a man at a certain point, and it might be, he could be more emotional now and more logical tomorrow. Like, I think it fluctuates. I don't think it's it's men that are always the logical one. It's women that, nah. To me, it's something that all humans have. So, like I said, You have to be able to compromise and know when to be more emotional and catering to her feelings from a logical standpoint. Because if you don't have that quality, you would not be able to explain things to her in a way she will understand and know that you're not just yelling at her and trying to conform her to something, but you're doing it with love and compassion, if that makes sense.
What I have learned is love is not enough. Love is not enough
100%.
for a long-term,
100%.
healthy relationship
Mhm.
to fully work. And I think we've been
Oh, it's
told our whole
Tombulu,
life
holy.
love is all you need. And it's just, for me, not true.
It's not all
What
you
else
need.
do need?
It's the most.
Values, vision, and lifestyle. Personally, what I have learned is
Values, vision, and lifestyle. Values, you have to have value. Vision, you have to have a dream. You have to have a goal, a purpose in life. And he said lifestyle. You have to basically know how you want to live your life, which kind of is the same thing with vision, if you ask me. So yeah, love gets you into, gets your foot into the door, right? There has to be love as the foundation. And if you dive deep into what love means, what is love? Love is willing the good for another. I got this definition from TJ. I don't know where he got that definition from, but I processed it and it made so much sense to me, because I know there are different types of meanings of love, but that particular definition makes so much sense to me. Because if you're willing the good for another, regardless of your own happiness, in that sense, that is love, right? So no matter the situation, you have to be able to will the good for another. If you love her, right, you have to be able to be disciplined to go out there, make the money, and provide for her and the family, of course. You also have to be he mentioned 3 things: values, vision, and lifestyle. Indeed, love is not enough. Values. So values, you have to be someone of value. You have to know what. You have to have value, basically. Know what to appreciate and what not to appreciate. You can't just be aloof and do things without thinking of the repercussions, And vision. Yeah. You definitely have to be looking at tomorrow, in a sense, in some way. You just cannot, because you have a wife or because of love, you cover your eyes to the fact that you have your duties, you have your purpose in life. Love is like a side quest. I won't call it a side quest. You could express love in so many ways other than like a partner, right? Your love is the foundation of a great life. If you ask me, you must be able to love, starting with yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can't love any other person. You have to start from loving yourself. So once you're able to love yourself, right, willing the good for your own self, you'll be able to will the good for another person. So, yeah.
People don't respect the person who accepts their unacceptable behavior. So if I'm unacceptable, if I'm disloyal to you and I'm swearing at you and I'm rude to you and you still want to be with me, I automatically don't love you anymore. And the reason for that is because you've shown me I can be my worst and you'll accept it, and I don't want to be my worst. We all want to be our best. I don't want to be hitting my husband and swearing at him. When he accepts that, there's a part of us that says, why are you taking this? So when we accept the unacceptable, we remove the connection rather than create it. People don't respect the person.
You can't just let somebody walk over you. I've said this times and times. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it too. There's a reason for boundaries. Those boundaries should not be crossed. And if it's crossed, you have to check whoever is crossing it. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's your dad, your mom, your friend. If there's a boundary, this wall, anybody that crosses this wall is going to be violating my standard of living. Wow, why should you even sit down and let them do that continuously, let alone once? Every single time that happens, you should point a finger and say, yo, this thing you're doing, I don't like this. Stop this, or this will happen. You have to put your foot down, because if you accept everything, then you stand for nothing. You get? So yeah, put your foot down, guys. If not, they'll just walk over you and eventually leave you. So when you're trying to put her on a pedestal and do everything, make her happy, you don't want to ever get into an argument because you're scared of confrontations or the fact that she might leave you if you bring it up. It's better you bring it up and make peace for yourself and respect for yourself. Because if you don't, she wouldn't know she's stepping over you. And if she does, she'll be like, oh, I can do this, get away with it, still get what I want, he still loves me, all that stuff, right? You are making her disrespect you and you're encouraging her to disrespect you, basically, when you don't point it out. So you just have to, guys. You just have to.
A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. A man doesn't commit to the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him. A man doesn't commit to
Can I hear that one more time?
the woman for what she does for him. He commits to her based on who she is to him.
Is that not the same for everybody? Somebody turn his volume up. Is not loud enough. The people in the back definitely need to hear this. Doesn't matter. Like, the volume is actually too high. Like, jeez, man. Like, I reduced it for you guys, but these guys are making noise, man. Making noise, yarning dust.
Don't do this for a man, no matter how much you love him. Don't stay when he disrespects you.
Of course.
Love is not a reason to tolerate disrespect.
Not at all.
And the best way
Because if you don't have love, if you know what's funny, you say love, right? But if you truly possess love for yourself, that you now translate to someone else, right? Because I've said this before, if you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else, right? If you cannot love yourself and respect your own self, how do you think you can do that for someone else? How? And if you think you're not doing, that's not what you're doing. You're just worshiping that person. At that point, it's not love. You're not keeping quiet when she hurts you, letting her break your boundaries because you love her. No, it's because you don't respect yourself and you worship her. She's a god to you. So yeah, she's spitting facts.
to end disrespect is to not give them a chance to do it again. Don't do this for a man, no matter how.
If you're dating someone, how long do you think it takes for you to know that this person is the one? Most married people said this is
Me personally, I don't believe in the one. Well, let's carry on, man.
a study that it takes 172 days for you to determine if you wanted to marry the person. If you're dating
172 days, that's 365 days divided by 2. It's gonna be like almost 6 months ish. Is enough for you to know if someone you can get married to somebody. I think it's enough time, but I don't advise you get married that quickly. I advise you take like at least a year and a half, 2 years, because this is a lifetime decision. So there's no need to rush into it. Take a year at least, actually a year and a half at least. Then you can make a decision. And when I say a year and a half, you have to be living with this person. Let's say the whole process takes you a year and a half. 6 months, you guys should at least have lived together in the same place for at least 6 months. A year actually should be ideal because things come to light when you live together. You'll be able to see, oh, this is how she takes care of her room. Is she clean? Is he tidy? Does he know how to do this? Does she know how to do that? That's the space you need for you guys to know if you're compatible. And of course, you don't just start living with somebody you don't see a future with. I didn't say do that right off the bat. That's not the first thing you should do. You shouldn't just go and move into someone else's house because you believe love is blind or something. Like, nah, love is work. Love is continuous effort stacked upon each other to build trust, loyalty, understanding, communication, all that stuff. You have to layer it out to build a solid foundation. You get me? So yeah, to me, that's how you should go about getting married to anybody ever.
A woman should never ask a man to provide more than he can provide. That's wrong. A woman should always live within the man's means. And if the man has the means, great. If he doesn't, don't ask for it. And if you want more, work together to build it up.
That's facts. That's facts. This age, this stage, you see all these young teenagers, man. I don't know what teenagers are doing dating, to be honest. Like, that's the first thing. But you see all these young teenagers, maybe people that just going to college. They're demanding so much from themselves, man. You buy her a $200 shoe, she buys you a $1,000 jacket. See, if you guys can afford it, even if you can afford it, I don't even advise you do it. Like, you guys should be trying to build wealth, not buying. Love can be expressed in way better ways, man. Like, you can use your money way more effectively to show that you love somebody, right? All this unnecessary, then you guys break up in 2 months. Like, I don't know, it's ridiculous, man. Like, you guys need to, it's a good sign when you see a girl, she understands that, oh, this guy is a young man, just like she is, and should not be demanding ridiculous stuff from the young man. Why would you be asking a young 16 or 19-year-old man for a Gucci bag when you know fully well this guy works in McDonald's or some average workplace? That's wickedness. That's wickedness. You can't say that's wickedness. What kind of love is that? That's wickedness, man. Jeez. What's this one?
A woman
If you struggle with communication in your relationship, you should hear this. Okay.
The quality of your relationship will come down to the quality of your communication. But
Period.
the quality of your communication will come down to the quality of your listening. You can listen to what is being said, and can you hear and listen to what is being said behind what is being said? For example, this literally happened 50 minutes ago before this call, right? So we were here. Can I share this?
Yeah.
So
I love this couple's relationship already.
Minutes and we're getting ready with all the tech stuff. And Kelly shared. What did you share before?
Oh, I was saying that I feel disconnected.
I could have easily gone into, well, like, I'm feeling disconnected, and why are you feeling disconnected? And you shouldn't be feeling disconnected because we had a whole day yesterday and we've been doing all these rituals. Like, why are you feeling disconnected? I could have gone down that route. I could have got very defensive. I could have blamed. I could have judged. I could have made her wrong. I could have made myself wrong. But what did I say after that?
I think you said, what do you need right now?
There's a desire underneath all of that for connection. Okay, well, how about we
Precisely.
did some...
You have to listen. Like you said, listen. I don't know why I'm pausing the clip, but yeah, you have to just listen.
breathing together. We did some eye gazing. We shared what we were most grateful for. What else did we do?
Yeah, we shared what we appreciate.
I like that. I love this couple.
The other has done
This
is
And then
this is a good relationship.
Connected. Some people
It's
may
so
not
easy
be
to
able
fix.
to clearly communicate their needs because they just don't know how, or they didn't have the healthiest template on how to communicate their needs, or there may just be something in the way because it's vulnerable to say, hey, I miss you and I really want to connect with you. My invitation to you moving forward is
you guys don't even know why I'm
see if you
smiling.
can listen to what is being said behind what is being said.
You guys don't even know why I'm smiling, because this is what I do with all the relationships, with all the people I connect with, both my friends, both girls that I like, parents. You have to just communicate and listen. Literally, it's all in. To me, communication, number 1, in a relationship. Number 2, honesty. I think communication and honesty, they go in hand in hand, because there's one thing for you to be communicating lies, and there's one thing for you to be communicating the truth. Because example of communicating lies or telling half truths is, you're angry with this girl, she did something to you. You want her to know she did something to you, but you don't want to tell her with your mouth. So you start being passive aggressive to her. Maybe you used to call her honey or baby. You start calling her I almost said the name of the girl I'm talking to. Jeez. You start calling her by her name directly. Like, that's being passive aggressive. And if she's listening though, she'll be able to pick on the sign that this guy's calling me by my, name now. What happened? Something's changed. That's the listening under the listening I was talking about. Listening under the communication. I can't remember what he said. You have to be able to listen to body language. That's what he's trying to tell you. There's one thing for them to speak, and there's also one thing for their body to speak. You can tell the difference. So when she picks up, is either she picks up on the signal that, this guy is being passive aggressive, so what have I done wrong, right? That is if she's not trying to reciprocate the same energy you are, because you're already in the wrong by not telling her directly, this is what you've done. And even if you have said it to her before in the past, you should still say it again, because change doesn't come fast. Change takes a while. If she's used to calling you bro, calling all guys bro, and all of a sudden she likes this guy, but she's still used to saying bro, right? And she calls you bro, and you don't like being called bro, you have to say, hey baby, don't call me bro like that, because it makes me feel like this, and I don't want to feel like this. If not, I will start treating you in a way that is similar to being your bro. You have to come clean. And after saying that, don't just expect her to instantly switch up like she's a robot. She's not a robot. She will take time, she will adjust, but notice if she's adjusting. Notice how she apologizes when she makes those mistakes. Those are the key things that matter when, communicating pains, communicating things you don't like. You have to be patient too. Very important. That's another skill. Patience. You need it. Don't just I don't have the time, she's wasting my time. Nothing's a waste of time. It's either a lesson or a blessing. I saw that one yesterday. I don't know where I saw it, but it sounded clean. It's either a lesson or a blessing. Okay, it was on this guy's status. I've forgotten his name. And that's it. I always say it's either a W or a W. If you communicate your feelings, if you put yourself in that vulnerable situation, right, you'll be able to express to her the discomfort, what you don't like. In return, she could either say, my guy doesn't like this, so I'm going to stop doing this. I know it might be hard, but I'll try. And at the end of the day, she will try. And that'll be a W for you. And if she doesn't try, and she say, this is me, like, this is how I am. Why is this guy like this? Like, I don't really care. Okay, you don't like what I do. Okay, man up. Like, man up. If she does that, that's a clear sign that, this person definitely doesn't want a long relationship with me. Which is fine. But you have to move on. And moving on to better women is a W. So it's a W or a W. So communicate effectively. Listen even better. W advice from this guy, Matthew Karma. I think that's the name of his channel. W Maz.
I think the best piece of advice my dad gave me was when I was struggling as to whether I should stay in a relationship or not. He said, Shivani, if you weren't enjoying your job, would you tell me that you're not going to leave because there's no other jobs in the world? Or would you just stay in that job and be miserable forever? And I was like, well, obviously I would leave the job. There's millions of jobs in the world. And he was like, yeah, but what if you're not qualified? I was like, well, there'll be something I'm qualified for. Yeah. He was like, exactly. So when you're not happy in a relationship, I say this all the time, and I think it's because my parents have been really positive with that reinforcement from a young age. There are millions of people in the world. Why on earth do you think you're not going to find someone? Yeah. It's bizarre to me. By the way, I'm not saying it's easy when you have to really leave a relationship. It's very difficult. You have a lot of emotional attachment. You have a lot of social attachment. Sometimes your friends are really similar. Some people are living together. It's hard. But at the end of the day, you have one life.
Yeah.
And when you think about the fact that you just have one life and that's it, and then you're just going to die after, you're never going to get the chance to feel that love or that affection or that feeling again. Why would you waste it on someone?
It's mad.
I don't know, for some weird reason. Oh my god. Sorry guys, my flipping alarm caught me off guard. But for some reason, I don't know why I was getting a wrong message from her, which someone could easily take from that. So I'm just going to break it down from my own perspective, why I feel that way. She's saying you should not settle for, I don't know, she didn't, that's the problem. Is that she's saying you should not settle for less, right? Because I was speaking about patience before. Is that she's saying you should not settle for less, right? Or she's saying once you get uncomfortable in a situation, you don't, in your relationship, just dip. And if she's saying the latter, that's a problem, because you would always get uncomfortable in any situation. You should be ready to adapt. See, okay, what's the problem? If you're not ready to sit down and tackle the problem, at least try tackling the problem, right? And you're just saying, oh, if you can't, just leave once you feel uncomfortable. Once it's just, you feel any form of, it's not going as smooth, it's not going in a straight line, no issues, nothing, right? Once you feel any slight discomfort, leave. Then that's bad advice, because you should be able to sit down if you truly want to grow, because you would always run into problems, always. But not everybody is well equipped to fix those problems, because most people just listen to sad comments of, oh, he's this, he's that, because of that, instead of actually talking to their partner, expressing the problem at hand, letting the partner know exactly what the heck is going on, why she's not happy, why he's not happy, so that they could both move together, move forward together. It's their own relationship, but they go outside seeking for advice first before actually doing the homework. If there's a problem in the marriage, in the relationship, come together, communicate, listen, seek understanding. Only then can you act. If after all that you now feel okay, and it takes a while, this is not something you just do today and you no, it take a while. After a while of looking at things, you'll be able to know, okay, should I stay or should I leave? But if you've not done that, it's bad advice for them to tell you to just leave, because you could find the best partner in the world, and because you guys could not compromise and sit down and discuss issues, you lose that person and you have no patience. So you need to build that patience and communicate properly, trust too.
What common mistakes do you think some women make when it comes to relationships?
I think the biggest mistake, and I know I'm guilty of this as well, is we don't communicate our needs and we expect them to predict it.
Everyone is
so
talking
what I mean
about
by this is, say for example, we want to see somebody more often. We will say, I'm not going to ask him, I'm not going to say it, because he should just know. If he wanted to, he would. But the reality is, when we don't communicate our needs, we teach people the wrong way to love us. If you're late every time you pick me up and I don't say anything in that process because I don't want to look needy or I don't want to look clingy or anything like that, I'm teaching you it's okay to do that.
People are so scared to be vulnerable, and that is Thanos when he wears that gloves. It's very powerful. That's literally my superpower. I know how to be so vulnerable, and it is always to your advantage if you do it right. You're not being vulnerable so that they show you pity or mercy. Nope. You're being vulnerable so that you can tell if this person is for you or not. If I express to you that, oh, what you did right now, I like it a lot, it made me happy, right? And maybe I smile, I'm just childish, I just act childish too, she did something and I just childish with you, I'm showing you my childish side. If that makes you leave, so be it, man. Good game. That should be good for you, because you don't want to be with somebody that you cannot be childish with, you can't express yourself, you can't be vulnerable with. That's an L. So you express that feeling, you put yourself in a vulnerable situation so that If you show it and she reciprocates that energy, you guys both win. You guys, what do you call it? You guys take your relationship to a higher level. If you do and she doesn't take it well, or she's like, yo, this guy is weird, or this is cringe, like some girls will say, this gives me the ick. All good. Go and find the girl that would, when you do that, she won't give you the ick, or it won't give her the ick. All good. Don't hate her. Wish her the best. But you have to leave. If maybe she was joking, I give her the ick, okay, that's fine. But if she actually gets irritated and like tells you to stop, like never ever like show that side of you again, man, you have to leave, man. And it's still a win for you because you get to find someone that suits you. And even if you think you would not find someone that suits you, you still have to leave. Because why would you settle for less? Why would you choose to be unhappy? Because that's literally you choosing to be unhappy. So yeah, W advice.
If you're a husband and you're making these mistakes, you're probably pushing away your wife. Number 1, lack of communication. Number 2, taking her for granted.
Communication,
Neglecting
guys.
Emotional support. Lack of involvement. Lack of quality time and intimacy. Disrespect. And criticism. Failure to apologize. And come on, that one will hurt somebody. It's important to remember to have open and honest.
I'm laughing at the... This needs to show up on his FYP, no? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about communication. Look, we're talking about communication here. She is out here telling us that this needs to show up on his FYP instead of sending it to him or just saying it to the young lad. Open your flipping mouth. I thought my mic wasn't working. Open your flipping mouth and tell this guy the problem. Tell this guy the issue and stop sitting around expecting magic to happen. Saying, God, you kneel down, you pray to God, God, please, I ask you, let my husband understand this. Meanwhile, God gave you a brain to use. God gave you a mouth to speak. And you chose not to use it to express your annoyance, your discomfort towards the guy. But I pray to God so that he also helps you communicate better, because that will help you way better than that.
Being a good woman will not keep a man. Being a faithful and loyal woman will not keep a man. Working hard and being patient, understanding will not keep a man. Supporting his dreams and wants and needs will not keep him. Standing by his sides when he needs you the most will not keep him either. The only thing that will keep a man is a man who wants to be kept. Listen to that again.
Yep. I was waiting for that.
Will not keep a man.
Pause. I was waiting for that, literally. You can... We've talked about this before. So these advices are really similar. Because you will take the camel to the lake, but you cannot make that camel drink. I've said this before. If the man wants to leave, he will leave. It is sad. Same thing with the woman. That's why I tell people, do the best you can in your relationship. Don't be suspicious. Trust 100% right off the bat, so that you give them the room to show themselves. Because if you don't give them the room to show themselves, they would hide things from you, which you would see in the long run eventually. So allow them express themselves, so that if they do things you don't like, you can correct them. And if they are the kind of people that want to actually be with you, they would adjust. You get? So at the end of the day, that's just it. You cannot keep anybody. You just have to be open to communicating, understanding, expressing yourself to the fullest, so that everybody wins in that sense. So yeah, you just have to hope for the best, but also be ready for the worst. Because tomorrow she could wake up and say she's not interested, and you've done everything you think you needed to do, and she left. You just have to take life as it is. Like, God gave you that as a gift, and God can decide to, or the gift can, lose its value, I guess, or something like that. But you just have to thank God for the fact that, okay, at least I had to experience this. But you have to be ready to move on and heal properly. It's my hurt. Like, it will hurt, not might. If you really love the person, it will hurt, it will sting. But you also have to understand that you can't control anything. You really can't control anything. You guys tell me one thing in the comments you think you can't control. Your finances, you can't control your finances. Tomorrow your boss could fire you. Tomorrow, if let's say me, YouTube could shut down, or what do you call it, demonetize my channel. You know what? My mind, yeah, you could, I would say you have 100% control over your mind, but then all these subconscious things people do you really have 100% control over your mind? Subconscious things that you just pick on as human beings, they just get into your head and you wonder how. Like the other day, like recently, I was meant to go out with one girl, and I'm thinking, like, I know I want to be able to financially take care of this chick, but do I really want her spending on me? Back in Nigeria, I didn't have a problem with that, but when I came here, and also like over time, I've just been, actually I think it was around when I came here, just been consuming content that tells you, oh, you have to be the man. There's nothing wrong with being like a man, being a human being, striving for more, not wanting to be a burden to your partner. But you should always have room for your partner to take care of you too. Like, there should be no problem with that. But I was like, do I really want her to get me something? Do I? You know, subconsciously, that already entered my head. So I had to look inside and say, what's going on? How did this even get in there? Crazy stuff, but it did. So I don't think there's anything. If there is, let me just comment it in the comment section, man. I doubt it, but comment it, guys.
Now, when a woman does forgive you, it's because she loves you, she cares about you, she thought more highly of you. She goes through a period while she's trying to figure out how she got it wrong. Was she wrong about you? If you could prove to her that she wasn't wrong, you can fix it. Sometimes when you get the man back, you get a better man. Now, you can throw him away if you want to, but you could be tossing away a better man now that has learned this lesson. Now, when
that's the truth. But at the end of the day, people are fragile sometimes. So they might go through that situation and just not have the endurance to stay. Like, you cheat on the woman and I don't know your reason, but if she leaves, she leaves, man. That's what you get, bro. That's what you flipping get. If you really valued her, why were you going outside to cheat? You know? But if you beg for forgiveness and actually mean it and actually try your best not to ever do that again in your life, right? And she allows, you should not take it for granted. You should not try and walk over her again. Because if you do, and she leaves or has to come to the terms with the fact that, oh, she actually wasted her time and this guy lied to her, God help you, the consequences you might face. She might want to seek revenge. So it's not a guy or girl thing, but I'm just giving you guys angles to this. So watch out for what you guys do, man. Your actions have consequences.
99% of us in relationships are trying to make our partner respect our values. We want them to like what we like. We want them to love what we love. So we demand that our partner respects our value rather than respecting theirs. 99%.
I don't know why this clip is so short, but yeah, you would want them to, you guys would want to be on a similar, at least have some, not everything I do she should like. Like, she should like at least like half of what I do. At least half or more of what I do, you get me? Like, there are things she wouldn't like, of course, but for the most part, we should kind of be almost similar. You get? We might have a little differences here and there, but we should literally be similar in our taste, in our lifestyle, in our values, in our mindset. Because if not, it's a mismatch. You guys will just be way off the charts. You guys are not meant to be together, but you're trying to make something work. It's not like, you guys also need to understand that these are also things that would make people love you per se. Because if there's no personality attached to it, right? If she doesn't love you for certain things and stuff like that, I don't know how that love exists. Like, I don't think that's how love works. I don't believe in like blind love or something. There has to be qualities that she will look into and see, oh yeah, I like this from this guy and I want this guy. You get me? So I think that's how that works, guys.
The number one skill needed for a long-lasting relationship is not date nights, it's not holiday cruises, it's not walks on the beach, it's not giving each other gifts, it's not cooking for each other, it's learning how to fight. The truth is that any good relationship will always have conflict. It's where you're never going to be in a scenario where you're dating where you don't argue or you don't have a disagreement. It's going to happen.
I don't know what he means learn how to fight. Like, to see the comments. Okay, I learned how to fight. What's next? Instruction not clear. Now I'm in a headlock. Being able to respect each other, even during conflict, is important. Yeah, this is what he's trying to say. This is exactly what he's trying to say. But he, like, maybe whoever clipped this thing didn't clip it fully. Oh, this is his channel, I think. This is his channel from what I'm seeing here. But I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to get a viral clip, maybe. But yeah, he missed the point here though, because you have to explain it. If not, you have people in the comment sections like this putting their wifeys in headlocks. But yeah, man.
Number one skill needed.
5 signs your relationship is over. You stop having fun together. You argue more than not. I don't agree with that. You stop being intimate with each other. Problem. You want planning. You start planning how to leave. You start keeping secrets from each other. Yep. I don't agree with this. You argue more than not. I don't agree. This doesn't end the relationship. I don't think this ends the relationship. It's how you go about resolving it that ends it, right? How you go about like the argument per se, the mindset you're going into the argument with. Are you entering the argument to be the winner, right? Or are you entering the argument to lead the relationship forward so that you are both you and your girl, or your girl and your man's, or you and your man are both happy? You get? So yeah, that's why I don't agree with that. But you stop having fun together. That's also like something that is a product of arguing. If you ask me, it's a product of not communicating. If you're not having fun together, what happened? What's the cause? What's the reason? You should look into that. What were you doing in the past that you guys don't do anymore? You should start doing that again. Like, if you guys truly love each other, you just have to start doing that again. If not, and then it might be raps. You start being intimate with each other. Like, what is the point of having a spouse, a partner, and you guys are not intimate? Like, whatever is stopping you guys from being intimate, you guys need to fix that fast. If not, yeah, you're definitely going to ruin your relationship. You start planning how to leave. This one is once you've gotten to these stages, I think it's raps. Like, this shouldn't even be here. You've already left mentally, so this shouldn't even be on this list. You start keeping secrets. Yeah, you don't want to be hiding things from each other. Like, that's what I was telling I had this podcast. I don't know who. I might leave it here for you guys, a card, but don't go there yet. Finish this video. So it was basically, I asked TJ, you guys know TJ, right? I asked TJ, what thing do you think, tell me one problem you go through in this life that your wife cannot help you in some shape or form. Like, at least you should share it with her. And he said cheating. And I'm like, I think he said cheating, or someone said cheating. And I'm like, that's dishonest. Like, of course you don't want to keep that. You don't want to tell her that. Like, of course you want to keep that a secret because you know you've broken the contract, right? Other than that, I don't see what secrets you should be keeping from your wife. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, people are weird, I guess.
The number one key to you being and living in a successful relationship is emotional maturity and intellect. You've got to be able to understand what's going on inside of you and why it's going on. And then when you realize that something's going on, you got to be able to take a deep breath and go, you know what? I realized that I was behaving this way because of A, B, C, and D. And I think that the second thing is in relationship, which I love about this relationship that I'm in. I told her earlier today, I don't mind getting in disagreements with you because I know there's light at the end of the tunnel. But for there to be light at the end of the tunnel, that means that human beings have to be open to letting go of their shit, their guard, their defenses, their pride, and be able to allow their emotions to simmer down just enough to calm down and see the other person's perspective.
Thank you very much.
Then you can get back into your hearts. Because that's what happens.
Thank you very
go
much.
into your mind, your ego makes up a whole story that is absolutely not true, and you get two choices at that point. Either A, you get to defend the fact that you're right, or B, you get to drop in your heart and be happy. The number one...
It's literally the same thing I've said, guys. You guys need to be able to be communicators, listeners, vulnerable, open to, accepting yourself and your partner. Right? So, yeah, well said, man.
It's the girl that doesn't text you at all you need to worry about. Attention is currency when it comes to a woman. If I am getting messages that are paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs long from a girl that's mad at me, I know that she loves me. You should listen to what women say and take it in consideration. But in this particular lane of conversation, do not listen to what women say, listen to what they do. And if those paragraphs are coming, the longer they are and the more impactful they are, and like she was just typing away, dude, she f***ing loves you, bro. Don't forget that. Awesome. Don't lose your frame. It's the girl.
Don't lose your frame. Come on. What does that even mean? Like, if she's doing all that, right? I'm hoping you're doing that back, because it's not a... You guys don't get this relationship thing at all. You guys play like it's some game. Especially, you know what's funny? You play it like it's some game, but when she leaves you, you cry like it's real life. Because it is. So why play those games? She's texting you all that. I don't know. You did something to her and she's pissed. Yeah, she's showing you she loves you. That's why she's going through all that. Right? If she didn't, she would not do that. Right? Then, of course, you take your own time and sort things out. He's not saying you shouldn't. Right? But he was saying don't lose your frame in that sense. It depends on the context. Like this was probably clipped from somewhere. Right? But yeah, you shouldn't lose your frame. But you should be ready to drop your guard and accept your faults when you're at fault. If not, then you're just destroying your relationship, destroying her trust, making her frustrated and stuff, So I don't know, really. Maybe we should start looking into longer clips. This was just 32 seconds, right? But it's not a game, guys. If you love somebody and you want them to love you in a long-term relationship, right? Make sure you also give them your all. Because if there's a problem, you guys should come together and constructively try to find a way forward. Not you trying to feel like, oh, she's texting me back. I'm the boss, I'm the price. Good luck with being the price, because she will sell you very soon. Watch this video here, guys, if you enjoyed it, and give me some clips you'd like me to respond to in the Discord. If you guys have any takes you feel I did not, touch on well, or you feel I said and you didn't like, let me know in the comment section. Catch you on the next video. Thanks for the support, guys. Peace.